How many years ago did you arrive in Taiwan?
I came in 1976. Wow. Teaching at Donghai University.
In Taichung.
In Taichung, yeah.
What was that like back in 1976?
Very different. Really nice. I loved it. The people were really nice. Big difference today when you look on the street, people don't smile very much. At that time, I remember writing to my family and said, they just smile everywhere. It's like you could walk down the street, people just smiling for no reason at all. You don't see that anymore.
I asked Jim's advice on what he thought the best way to tackle most addictions are, and this is what he said.
Giving up sugar and starch, I believe that the beginning of all desire begins with sweetness. The beginning of the end of man was the eating of fruit and the discovery of sweetness. And then they turned on desire. And then men began to look for all these things outside himself to complete himself.
And then it got bigger and bigger.
It got bigger and bigger. And so there's no way that you're going to overcome all of the addictions in the world.
Especially now.
Until you overcome your addiction to sugar and starch. Once you have learned how to practice that on a daily basis, then you are in control of your thoughts. And that begins with your diet. Then everything else will be easy to knock out. Because you are constantly practicing saying no to looking for something outside of yourself. Modern man, most people get up in the morning, have their first piece of bread, and they're chasing starch the rest of the day. The way you do it is you open up in the morning and you only have protein or some starchless vegetables. If you begin your day that way, you're going to eat much less sugar and much less starch the rest of the day. If you get up in the morning, the first thing you have is something that's got sugar in it or starch in it, then you have begun the up, down. Chase the carbs, chase the sugar all day long.
You're talking like the sugar spike.
Yeah, the sugar spike. Right? You're chasing it all day. That addiction, you're having to deal with it all day long. If you can handle that one, then now you can think for yourself. You can say no to drugs. You can say no to new cars. Say no to this big house that you think that they want you to think you need when really you only need this. Then that means you begin to say no to debt. The whole world is based on debt, and debt enslaves you. All right? So you are enslaved by your addictions. Sugar is more addictive than cocaine. I've quit smoking, I've quit a lot of things, but the hardest part for me is saying no to sugar. You eat one bowl of rice at lunch and you need to take an afternoon nap. When I quit eating white rice, my energy level stayed even the rest of the day. The biggest problem who go on the low carb diet, they can't get rid of the idea that fat makes you fat. Fat will only make you fat if you're having starch and sugar.
When you put them together.
Right. And their big problem is they'll go on a low carb diet and a low oil diet at the same time, and then they have no energy.
Right.
So you need to increase your oil a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't mean reduce sugar and reduce carbs, I mean knock them out.
Do you ever do intermittent fasting?
Always. I stop eating at 8 o'clock at night and I don't eat until noon. So I do intermittent fasting every day. If I miss one day, it's okay, because actually it's good for you. Even if you intermittent fast for one day a week, it's good. All right? So the more days a week you do it, the better.
What would you say are the top 5 foods, I know you've kind of mentioned them, but to avoid?
Rice.
Rice.
Potatoes, floured fried things, battered foods, bubble tea. Of course, anything with sugar really should be avoided. Sweet potato in the afternoon, if you're going to do a starch, will give you energy for the rest of the day and will clear your lungs.
It cleans like a natural cleaning.
It's a natural cleaner.
The journey to a healthy balance takes time. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you tomorrow.